So in other words, the court has recused us from participating in any way in the case. Just as, however, though, as we appeared as a friend of the court, there was a...
My concern is that you've actually been disqualified from participating in the case by a judge, and it strikes me as odd that you've been thrown off the prosecution for mixing the criminal and civil aspects of this, and yet you're sitting in the chair advising counsel on it.
That's correct. And had I seen that there was going to be something other than what it appears to me in the makings, which you're going to try to get this over to the Ethics Commission instead of authorizing, and I believe that you've had some prior discussion about that, because you had someone from the Ethics Commission here earlier, I'm here for the sole and exclusive purpose of making sure that there is no inappropriate behavior associated with somehow you exercising your discretion to, or suggesting somehow this should go to the Ethics Commission. There's only one issue and one issue.
I mean, it seems to me highly inappropriate for you to be participating. You've been tossed off the case by a judge, and this is on TV. So if you would like to speak, I will of course allow it, but I just advise against it.
And we appeared in front of the court as a friend of the court in acknowledgement of the fact that we were not permitted to prosecute the case and we will not be prosecuting the case. The point I was making, Scott, was outside. The point I was making was outside of that.
I'm sorry, it's my meeting, Mr. Aguirre. You just can't interrupt. If you want to be heard, you can. So based on what Ms. Fuller said, I would say Ms. Dawn does not fit in those categories. Now I'd like you to respond to Mr. Aguirre's request about whether you advised Tom Story in a particular way. Would you please?
Foremost on whether or not these allegations have merit.
What would be the disadvantage of leaving it to the district attorney or someone else?
Well, the district attorney has refused to.
So let's assume that that results in the dismissal of the charges. What is the disadvantage to the city? What is the mayor's spending up to $250,000 on avoiding that? Because, you know, the building is short, the budget is tight, so, well, I mean, what is the interest of the city in pursuing this, given that we could face liability if I don't know whether they can or not, but.
It turns out that the district attorney's office is of the mind that they've never been formally requested to take this case. I repeat, they have never been formally requested. Now, it would appear that the State Attorney General's office has already decided they don't want to be a part of it. But the district attorney still has discretion in this matter. They still have authority, and they should be asked.
Can I just respond repeatedly by saying that the district attorney and the AG were asked to take the matter. They both indicated to the court that they were not prepared to do so. I might recall to you that there was an issue about the search warrant that each of them were involved in. I believe that could be the basis of their not able to handle the matter. Mr. Miller.
Notwithstanding the fact that the city attorney has already been told by the court it can't have anything to do with this, and the fact that he's sitting here, which is troubling enough, and I haven't I'm not comfortable about this at all. And to hear that the Attorney General indicated that they probably wouldn't be involved even if they did have jurisdiction. The fact that Mr. Wellington, the judge, is a former prosecutor in the Attorney General's office, I think that there's a lot of issues that are kind of pointing this to be more of a charade than something beyond that. And to hear that what we're talking about here is possibly spending $250,000 that we could be putting into potholes for what? It doesn't make any sense. You know, I look at what are our options before us today. You know, what's the charter say about the ethics laws? Clearly, this is.
Mr. Mayshine.
I don't know if I ever heard an answer as to whether or not the district attorney was willing to be involved in this.
The district attorney and AG declined to participate after the judge asked. We appeared, as I am right now, we appeared in front of the court last week to help the process. And the judge asked the DA or the AG if they were willing to prosecute. Both declined.
And just on that,
You're being asked to do one thing: hire a special prosecutor. In this particular case, the city attorney's office was recused. I disagree with what the court did, but I accept that. I'm not going to in any way participate in the prosecution. Maybe an independent prosecutor will say that maybe she doesn't feel there's sufficient evidence, but no one can ever transgress the laws and get away with just because he falls through the cracks. And there's 30,000 people prosecuted every year that we hold accountable. So all I'm saying to you is this: as a friend of the council today. The judge said that this would be an appropriate way to proceed.
And you believe that they could do that before April 30th, 2008?
I believe that they can do that.
Mr. Aguirre, he was correcting his question.
It's a legal question.
You're not advising me. I thought you were sitting as a friend of the council.
No, what I'm saying is,
Not advising us as
what
a
I'm saying
lawyer.
is, what you're saying is, as a trial attorney, could a trial attorney get ready that fast? And the answer is, they could.
To allow us some more time to make that determination, that judgment. That way the council might be provided with the expertise with somebody who could say, this is an important case to go forward, or for that individual to say, no, it's not, it doesn't meet the test on all of the issues that were talked about by council.
Kevin, the way that works is they have 30 days. The control of the time isn't by the judge. The control of the time is by the defendant. In other words, Mr. Story controls the time. If in fact you're going to ask someone to take on the case, as a practical matter, if they're going to actually take it on and do it, they're going to have to know.
But you can understand
I do.
my frustration, Mr. City Attorney,
I do.
as somebody who is sitting here, and somebody now this case has obviously been out there for a significant amount of time. I, like you, and like most people, don't like to be say, hurry up and act because you have a deadline that unfortunately I'm stuck with.
No, I agree, and I understand, and I understand. Really what it comes down to is, do you want to see the case evaluated, and if the evaluation is good prosecuted, or do you not? And I understand that it is, I wish I would have handled things differently. I wish I would have done something different so that I wouldn't have put you in this position. I acknowledge that, and I'm sorry that I have put you in this position. You have a reasonable basis not to proceed. I acknowledge that as well. But I will tell you that justice is justice, and in our society, it's not a matter of money. We have 30,000 cases. We never take on a case and say, we're only going to take on this case.
I don't disagree with that, sir. I appreciate it. Just let me interrupt.
It doesn't cost us anyone.
Well, I would like to hear from the district attorney. I think, and I believe what's been presented is probably accurate and true, but I think if we had a representative from the DA's office, and even that could occur next week, next Monday, Mr. Peters, we could, it's just, I'm just not.
Kevin, here's what the problem is with that. The district attorney's office weighed in at the time of the search warrant and became involved in the search warrant. And that raises issues that make it more difficult for the district attorney to handle the case.
I think asking the district attorney from this council, the district attorney can make up her own mind and give us an answer. Why would we shy away from that?
My suggestion was refer this to the district attorney. Is that not what you're looking for?
I would like to have some additional information from the district attorney. Yes, so I would potentially be fine with that motion, Mr. Peters, and I realize, and once again, the coming to a decision. I mean, we're elected obviously, and I just don't like the position in terms of a precedent-setting position on all of the ramifications that this entails, without having the benefit of some additional information, because it's too important not to get right. And you know, today is what? I'm looking at the calendar. 16th, 15th. So tax day, of course. How could I forget that? I just think that having some information, and even if it's another week, would be beneficial.
Kevin, can I just say one last thing? The Attorney General and the District Attorney were both asked by the judge. In other words, that's how we got there. They were both asked by the judge to reappear as a friend of the court, to bring to the court's attention the timing problem. It had slipped through the cracks calendar-wise. The court then had looked at both the DA and the AG representatives, asked if they were willing to prosecute. They were told no. And the court said that one of the options was that the council could authorize the hiring of a special prosecutor. I'm recused out of the case. The judge has said that there is one option that you can exercise to hire, not the only. He said he was open to other things. I guess the bill was there. He didn't foreclose that there were some